Hey everyone, welcome back to Upscale Audio. I'm Jake, and with me as always,
Jordan from Upscale Audio.
No, digital tweak, that's in your contract.
Okay, thanks, Kev.
So guys, today we are doing a very exciting video. We are doing a shootout of 4 of the best audiophile bookshelf speakers you can get for under $2,000. So if you're just looking at starting out in your world of hi-fi, or you want to build a secondary system or for your guest house, this is going to be the video for you. Jordan, what was our reference system?
Sure, so for our reference system, we did use the Eversolo DMP A6 Master Edition as our streamer, as well as our DAC. And we used the Prima Luna Evo 100 as our integrated amplifier to power every single one of these loudspeakers.
Yeah, we use that system because the Prima Luna punches far above its weight class, and the Eversolo Master is like probably the best streamer you can get for under $1,400. So this is perfect for our system. Our reference album was Random Access Memory by Daft Punk. We love it because of the production quality and value of this album. It's great bass and amazing sounds, and just it sounds unreal when you hear it. So it's really great for a shootout like this. Let's dive in. Up first, we have the Wharefdale Linton Heritage. These come in at $1,800 for the pair with the stands, and they are an excellent choice if you're just starting your hi-fi journey. Wharfdale is one of the oldest hi-fi brands ever, and these speakers were designed by the legendary speaker designer Paul Como. And something crazy that you're going to see is the left and right speakers of these are book matched, which you almost never see at under $2,000 speakers. So this is an incredible choice when you compare the price to performance. So Jordan, talk to me about the tech.
Yeah, sure thing. So for the Wharfdale Lintons, you'll notice they are going to be in a 3-way design. We have our tweeter, a mid driver, and our bass driver. Starting off with the tweeter itself, it is going to be a 1-inch soft dome tweeter. Moving over to our mid, we have a 5-inch mid driver, an 8-inch bass driver, but you may notice on both of those that they are going to be made out of Kevlar, which is going to be its unique facet to this speaker. Now, besides that, this is going to be rear ported, so placement within a room is going to take a little bit of time to dial it in just right. And moving on, we do have a sensitivity of 90 decibels, as well as a very unique feature of being 6 ohms. Most speakers fit either within 4 or 8, but this guy, right in between.
Jordan, you forgot the coolest feature. Show them the stand.
Right, the stand. So, here we go. So we do have a stand for this speaker, and it does accommodate vinyl records. So if you didn't have a small vinyl collection, you could fit it between this stand and the accommodating stand as well.
Now moving to the sound quality, the Lintons are warm and inviting, almost like cozy is the word that I would use. They're incredibly forgiving if the rest of your system isn't top tier, which means if your amp or your source isn't the greatest, these aren't gonna punish you for it. It's gonna be warm and lush, vocals are gonna be rounded and full, and it's way more about musicality than that forensic detail hunting that other speakers are. So, like I said, this is great to start with. If you don't have an amazing amp, if you just have like a cheaper amp from someplace else, these are still amazing. And then if you upgrade to a better amp, these speakers are gonna sound even better. They are rich and fuzzy and just warm and cozy. I think they're an awesome speaker. But Jordan, let's move into a speaker that's a little more revealing. Next up, we have the KLH Model 3, which does come in at $1,500, but that does include the stands. This is an American acoustic suspension speaker. KLH was founded in 1957 by 3 pioneers. KLH actually stands for their last names, which was Klaus, Lowe, and Hoffman, and they have just been an American icon since the 57s. So Jordan, talk to me about the tech.
Sure, starting off with our tweeter, we are going to have a aluminum dome tweeter with a soft rubber suspension. Jumping on down to our woofer, we do get an 8-inch paper cone reverse roll suspension system for this guy here. Now, this is going to be a sealed cabinet, as you'll notice in the very front and in the rear, which is going to make it a little bit easier to place within a room. Jumping over to the rear of the speaker, there is going to be a control to adjust your mid to high frequency and at what point that roll off is going to kick in. Now, that does give you a bit more adjustment to however you like listening to music, but each their own, right? Now, Jake, with all that being said, what's it sound like?
To me, I've always described KLH as the jack of all trades, master of none, but this is an acoustic suspension speaker, which means it does not have any ports. Because of that, the bass is going to be tight, articulate, and punchy. It's not going to have any of that boominess or bloom that you're going to notice from like a ported speaker. It is also going to be highly revealing, which means if your system is not up to snuff, it's not going to be as forgiving as, say, the Lintons were. but to me, it's gonna give you more articulation and it's gonna give you more fine detail. Crystal clear highs, that punchy articulate bass, and I just think it's a super fun speaker. I've always loved acoustic suspension speakers. They're easy to place and they just give you a punchy bass that you're gonna love. So let's move on to another British icon. Next up, we have the Mission 700, another British icon. This does come in at $2,000 for the pair, but that also includes the stands, which is always nice. And Mission was founded in 1977, and they were immediately praised for pushing the advancements of speaker technology. They are just a British legend. Jordan, talk to me about the tech.
Sure thing. So starting off with our tweeter, it is going to be a 1 1/4 inch soft dome tweeter. Moving down to our bass driver, this is going to be a 6.5 inch mineral filled polypropylene driver. Now, you may notice that our bass driver is on top of our tweeter, and that has to do with Mission's inverted driver geometry. Now, they state that having the tweeter below the main woofer is actually going to help in the time alignment, which, Jake, why is that important?
Time alignment is one of the most critical things. You want your music and every note and every beat to hit exactly when it's supposed to. And because there's multiple drivers, you want all of them to hit your ear at exactly the same time. But let's segue into the sound quality. This is going to be that classic British hi-fi sound that you all know and love, but with a modern twist. It adds spaciousness and depth that like really spooked me to my core. It felt like there was awesome soundstage from the bass to the treble, everything had room to breathe. When we listened to Giorgio, that intro chime felt like it moved all around the room, really giving a 360-degree soundstage that really drew me in. The bass was articulate and fantastic, and the treble was sparkly without being harsh. So this was everything you want in a speaker at that $2,000 price point. So if you love the British sound, but you love 360-degree soundstage, this is the perfect speaker for you. Let's move to the last one on our list. Last and certainly not least, we have the Monitor Audio Silver 100 7G. Wow, that's a mouthful. Monitor Audio was founded in 1972 by Mo Iqbal. I hope I said that right. Whenever there's a Q in a last name, I always struggle with it. In a factory near Cambridge where they would assemble the speakers by hand, and they have just grown and grown. They are another British icon. A lot of British speakers on this list. I don't know what it is about them making special bookshelf speakers under 2,000, but this was a speaker that just does everything you want it to do. Jordan, talk to me about the tech.
Yeah, sure thing. So jumping into the speaker itself, we are going to have a 1 inch tweeter that is made out of what's called a CCAM material, and it uses a unified dispersion waveguide. Moving over to our 8 inch, it is going to be an 8 inch made out of the same type of material, which is CCAM. Now what CCAM is going to be ceramic coated aluminum magnesium drivers, essentially, which, I mean, they're rigid, they're fast, and they sound fantastic. Beyond that, this is going to be a rear-ported speaker, so placement does get a little bit more difficult when you're placing it for the bass. I mean, it was a pretty fun speaker to listen to. Jake, what did you think of it?
Well, I should say these do come in at $14.99 for the pair, and that does not include the stands. You do have to buy those separately, but we'll also call a salesperson. We'll help you find the perfect stands for your listening room. But these do everything you want a sub $2,000 pair of bookshelf speakers to do. It had crystal clear highs, but they weren't fatiguing. They were just so easy to listen to, and they drew me in and in. Vocals shined on these. So when we played Get Lucky by Daft Punk, even though I've heard that song 100 times, I felt like I could listen to it forever. The bass was incredible. It's weird how these are probably the smallest speakers in terms of dimension of the box size, but I felt like they almost went the deepest. So the bass was incredible. It had awesome crystal clear highs and perfect treble, but it wasn't fatiguing, which is sometimes your speaker can be so clear and have such good highs that you felt like you couldn't listen to it for a while, but I felt like we could have listened to these all day. Let's jump into our final thoughts. And that's gonna bring this video to a close. This was a lot of fun for us to do. We had a lot of choices on here, but we wanna remind you, these are not the only amazing bookshelf speakers for under 2,000. There's the Fine Audio F500 SPs, which we've talked about ad nauseum because they're just so good.
They're fantastic. There's also quite a few JBL speakers that also fit underneath the 2,000 category, but you know, there's only so much that we could put on the list. We're already filled up the table with 4 speakers.
As always, we'll have a blog online that expands our list even further, but we want to hear from you guys. So comment down below, because we had so many British speakers. What is your favorite British album? We'll pick a winner from the comments, we'll message you, and we'll ship you an Upscale t-shirt. They don't even give us free Upscale t-shirts. He has to wear one from Manly right now. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, consider giving it a like. Comment down below what speaker we left out of this list. Smash that subscribe button. And remember, we'll treat your system
like it's ours.